Right
Where? Oh, right there. Above.
there.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Is that him?
Logan, can you hear us?
Yep.
Alex? Okay, to make sure everybody can hear us. All right.
We have 6 people on our committee now.
7.
This is 7. Dale, Logan. 4 by 6. Huh, we signed it. 2, 3, 4, 6. You crossed out.
It's Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay. Yeah, you're fine. And there's a lady on this too low.
That's just,
Oh, that's a presenter?
she runs the show.
Oh, that's the person I want to talk to.
He sets the,
Oh, meeting up?
does the agenda.
Oh, so that's.
Support services.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to wait for Mary then, or should we got enough, participation in Mary?
I'd say no, I know she was out this week. I think she's been a little bit under the weather, so I'm not sure if she can hear or not.
Okay.
I did see her. Is that from? Yeah. I'd say yeah. Let's go for it.
Okay. So let's call this meeting to order. And let's go around the room and do introductions so everybody knows who everybody is. My name's Jeff Krug. I'm a board member.
Okay, my name is Mikhail Rosenberg. I just joined. Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm Greg DiLoretto, and I'm a board member also.
Eric Blaze, Public Works Director, City Engineer.
And I am Clark Guy, the Assistant City Engineer.
Hi, I'm Logan on the board.
And I am Alex Kraft. I am on the board as well.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for doing the intros. I've recently gotten citizen feedback about that. When they listen to the audio later, they're not sure who's who. So
Okay.
good job
Yeah,
remembering.
good to know. Well, it's on here, so that's just keep it on here. We'll be good. So the first item on our agenda is approval of our agenda. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, anything else they want to see on the agenda for this evening's meeting? Okay, silence there, so we'll just move on. Second item is review and approval of our June 2025 summary notes. I think everybody's had a chance to see that. Any comments on the summary notes? Comments? Okay, sounds good. Do we need to make a formal approval? I know Greg says we don't. Robert's rules say you don't. Okay. Some people think you should. All right. So we're going to just go with the notes as written. Thank you very much. Next item is public comments. Is there anybody signed up for public comments?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So we are moving right into our business items. So the first item we thought we would talk about tonight is the sidewalk project funding. So Eric and Clark, I guess you kind of need to kick us off there and kind of.
Sorry, I forgot my
Wonders.
notes. Grab the wrong stack.
Okay.
So I have no idea. That's why he's here. All right, we're gonna just talk quietly amongst yourselves. So
Yeah.
yeah, until Eric comes back. Sorry about that.
while we're waiting, Alex and Logan, have you had a chance to see the memorandum from the city council on our kind of work plan for the year, according to the city council?
I have not, no.
Okay. I think it was attached online to our meeting. There was meeting agenda. And it was also an attachment on that initial email out from Morgan. Who sends her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you have access to that, you could follow along. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll read through it right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Eric's back and he's gonna
Yeah.
lead our discussion on sidewalk funding.
So I guess this is the next step after we updated that pedestrian plan. We don't have a whole lot of details or information yet. I'm just going to share kind of some rough numbers. Of one of the ideas that was floated around was whatever we're going to call it, a sidewalk fee, a pedestrian safety fee, what have you. But this would be mirroring what Milwaukee does. They also have a streets maintenance fee like we do. And separate from that, they have a sidewalk fee.
Separate from the street maintenance.
Yeah.
fee. Okay.
So they're two separate fees. Now, there's nothing to say you couldn't, increase the street maintenance fee and pull some of that out, but I prefer to keep it separate, so we have two separate funds that we're working from. But I think they call theirs safe access for everyone. But just like this last fiscal year, I pulled from their fee schedule. For a single family home, it'd be $7.11. And if we ran that along with our multifamily, so we have 8,595 units, and then 1,800 multifamily and townhomes. That would give us about $856,661. Now, the component that I don't have in there is commercial, because that's on a basis, and I don't have any of that information yet. We'd have to do quite a bit deeper dive analysis into that. But, and then kind of backtracking that, you could, if you did a chunk of 5-foot sidewalk, you could do approximately 6,000 feet. 6 foot, a little bit less, about 5,000 feet. And so to put that in rough context, A.T. Creek out at Lima Drive there, that was approximately 3,600 feet of sidewalk. So it'd be a decent chunk, Phil. A lot of money to do projects like that. And maybe Mary can help me with this one, but we do have a meeting scheduled coming up to talk on the 8th about funding, and it's a broader picture of funding,
Yes.
but I believe transportation and this will come up. And so, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of, here's what we're doing. It's just ideas. And I know that the mayor has some ideas on, maybe another bond, to fund some bigger transportation projects, get us caught up on that while, and then also do sidewalk fees so that this had time to build a little bit of a fund balance there so you can work. So,
You're willing to spend $84 a year on that? Can we hear from Mary then? And
I don't have much to add. We don't really have. We're going to discuss it.
yeah, there's no formal agenda.
Okay.
I just, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on this thought. I was just going to see
Okay.
if you had any in talking with the mayor about.
I haven't talked to him,
Okay.
so you're right. He's been planning and we're gonna wait to have that discussion.
Yeah.
But yes, it is in the works.
All right, so, I'm just thinking out loud here, so the three options are some kind of a bond thing, right? There's a fee that could be instituted. Yes, the third option is kind of do nothing. What, can you walk us through, have we done any sidewalk work the city this year?
Yeah, so,
And where did that money come from? You can kind of help us.
streets, from our streets fund,
Okay,
just pull the chunk out. What was the total cost for that? 200?
For Ninth Street?
Yeah,
Yeah, like 190 or something.
yeah.
so
So
we,
the-
we did the Ninth Street thing down there.
Yeah, so we finally got that done. We remember that was a long time coming.
Right.
I'll try to forget about it. I got some plans drawn out, got it up bid.
Mhm.
I think we're just waiting on some handrail. And we'll be done with that, so.
Okay.
Other than that, it would be the safe routes down on Cedar Oaks would be the next big one that comes to mind. Is there?
Or just an actual sidewalk standalone project. I mean, we've got some designed or near in design for Sunset neighborhood. I know there's safe routes to school project over there on Ventnor and Long.
Mhm.
That was part of the safe routes project, so it's like at a 90% design right now. But we don't have funding for it, so for construction.
Okay. I'll just ask, let's see, another question. So I know the development fees for new buildings and things like that. Is there? I just saw where we lowered the sewer fees. Is there any component of that development cost that goes towards sidewalks, or it's just, how does that work?
Clark could better speak at that STC.
Yeah, it's-
More, but there is a bike ped.
Yeah, it's all around our transportation bucket. So it doesn't really get separated out like that. We kind of put it in a transportation bucket. There is a bike ped component of it, but because the value of it is not very high as far as dollar amount, you got to amass a whole bunch of development money to come into that from SDCs. Kind of just put it into one bucket for transportation.
And like I was mentioning during the sewer presentation, it's fairly restrictive
Mhm.
on where you can apply those SDCs. It makes it hard to use in big chunks towards
I see.
a project.
Okay.
I think it'd be very rare. I mean, I don't think we found one project in sewer that we could fund 100% with SDC funds. And I don't know how long it would ever take us to get to that.
I think of one is Mapleton Pump Station upgrades, but we don't have plans. It's not a high priority project as far as the master plan. So we wouldn't be doing it anytime soon.
I think it's an idea worth exploring. We got $6.7 million in the tier one, top 20 projects, 900,000 a year. If we think sidewalks are important.
Well, I'm hoping the commercial component.
Yeah, and that'd be okay, but my experience is be a little careful. So we'll start arguing about trips. No, we may be talking about, but be creative, I guess. Yeah, they would draw some, and if we get up to $1 million,
Yeah, that would be.
6 years, we're 84 bucks a year is what it costs you to east the sidewalk. $84. It's 60 a month on coffee at Starbucks just every Saturday. Actually, $60. I gave that up. Give me that 60.
I guess,
Priorities.
Exactly. You're right. Absolutely.
I guess the other thing, we've thought about, was trying to go for some money from somewhere, Metro, whatever it is, but package some of our sidewalk development into trails or, you know, the bike path thing and see if we can get some money that would help us with some of that build out as a package, you know what I'm saying?
Well, any of these overlap with the Parks Department, they bring us to, but none of our sidewalks are put there.
They have their own master plan.
It doesn't overlap with the sidewalks anywhere. Really co-located.
I don't have any extra money.
Yeah, but if they're gonna, I was thinking if they're building a trail, build it on the sidewalk.
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm
see.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I understand.
It's been a little while since I've talked with a consultant about it, but when ideas of grants, various safe streets for all, that sort of thing, we just don't meet the criteria here. And so it's unlikely, according to consultants that I've talked to about it, who deal with these kind of funding opportunities and grants and so on, that we would meet the criteria that
We don't.
our streets are safe.
Our streets are safe, our community is,
I'm not a high needs.
it's.
We don't compare. We don't even. So not on the high needs heat map.
Okay.
But I think, you know, can do partnerships where they come along, like we did at the school, like at Ninth Street, like, you know, that really makes it go further. It's not. Make the dollar go further.
Right. Well, you know, like, and again, just dredging up, I'm just thinking of some of our past discussions. It was like community connectivity. We were trying to think how we could build trails and we'll maybe get there so we can ride a bike to Oregon City or connect down the River Road into Lake Oswego, you know, build that out. It's just, we don't qualify. I guess it's a tough deal, but it seems like Metro's got some money that funds some of those big things.
They don't, I mean, it's all spoken for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
think
No.
about it, everybody else is at the table with the same idea.
When I was on the Transportation Advisory Board,
Hmm.
I went to Metro and as a wide-eyed, you know, we're an important link in the transportation chain. We should, corridor needs money. No, nope.
No,
So
okay.
I did knock on that door.
So I guess from our perspective, you could just tell us what happens if you have this meeting, then we could also lay. It's a good idea after
Yeah,
the council says.
no,
Increase.
we'll bring it up.
Let's waste.
Only other opportunity that I can think of for big projects, like you mentioned on, you know, I'll Drive, you know, Oregon City. Is this money from the 45 million that there's, I don't know if that would include any kind of street improvements if we're gonna do development down along the river.
Possibly. I mean,
That's
That-
all I'm saying.
right. I mean, for one thing, that funding isn't supposed to even be available until, I think I heard 27. And who knows what might change. I've been listening carefully to some of the realities that's hitting the state as far as, you know, money, 500 million that they thought they had in to count on from the federal government is not happening. So I have no idea how that may or may not impact. I mean, these are separate sources of money. I don't know if that affects lottery funding, but which is where the 45 million is coming from. But I mean, and also the 45 million is a mere fraction of what will be required to acquire the site, do demo mitigation. I mean, just to get it even to zero. And so
Yeah,
I think it is good. And I think the vote of confidence that it represents will, I think, attract private funding, private donors, which is even more important to the waterfront.
Won't there be tax increment financing for some of the infrastructure needed along there?
Yes, that's the other thing that's gonna be changing for the first time in the city's history is seeing some really significant incoming funds from the TIF districts.
Everybody probably wants it.
Right,
City's land.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big area, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's-
It does. So anyway, so I think that also just to add to this discussion, it's my interest and we are having conversations about finding revenue generation sources. So we're not having to increase residents input, put it on the backs of the community. We can. So that's what I'd like to do is find money from
From somebody else.
yeah. So.
Congratulations.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other, comments before we move on from this topic? Okay, great. So it sounds like we're gonna kind of, as this board, we're gonna wait and kind of hear some feedback from the council.
Yeah, it's good to say, hey, we support the idea right now. I'm
Yeah.
not sure we're in that.
Yeah,
position.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. Everybody good with that? Okay. Next item on our agenda is our tab council work plan. And I will say I was pretty pleased to see this come out. It's a good guideline for us to kind of bracket what we're trying to do to support community here in the council. So I was very pleased to see this. So thank you for that. Mary, do you have anything you want to say before we kick off the discussion about it?
No.
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep, okay. How do we want to go through these 5 items, kind of line item by item and just get them out there?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a plan of attack necessarily, just gonna kind of review and discuss them.
Mhm.
This was drafted internally here. I think I sent it out for comments. Right.
Yep.
Couple things, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Mary said, it's pretty self-explanatory. We've already been, some of these, I think we've already been hitting on, for a while now. At least number one.
Street light.
CSP, I'm not sure about.
Are they reviewing it this year? Meeting it?
The last I heard, we were gonna be like 28 or 29.
I think this was something I put out for you too, and we've talked about it, but is it worth, as this group kind of review the TSP, see the state of the state, how we are meeting some of the criteria that's laid out in that plan, right? And how could, we're kind of in the middle of the cycle, right? But if we look at, are we cutting down on the single occupant driver trips in this city right now? No,
I get worse.
it's part of the plan. I mean, it kind of begs some discussion maybe. So
So you kind of want to go back and review it, kind of grade ourselves on
yeah, see,
what have we done?
right. That's what I was thinking. It's such a good document, right? That we could then maybe help guide some new thinking on where we're missing. So I just throw that out there, and I don't know if we have somebody on staff that could kind of go through it, and you're looking at you have an intern or anything like that that could review it and pull out some highlights, or could we do a work, designate some committee people to look at it and come back to us, or how we do it? But I guess we haven't really talked about that yet, right?
Yeah, but
And,
there's what, 9 chapters?
Right.
So, it'd take a long time to get through it if we just did a chapter a meeting.
right.
I guess it's, or do we focus on some of the more meaningful things that are applying like tasks?
I think if we do these other things, we kind of drive the transportation system.
Yeah.
Transit everybody, say. Look at the sidewalks, we start driving the items in the TSP.
Right. Well, let's do this. Maybe I'll just, an idea would be, if we have time for the next meeting, you have time to kind of walk, like, take a look at it. Anything that jumps out at you, make some notes, and we'll talk about it in November.
Okay.
That sound fair? Number 3 is waterfront.
Did everybody take a survey? Was it a survey?
There was.
It was. You take the survey.
Are we gonna be directly asked by the consultant team for recommendation on these? Or, do you know? I'm curious.
Doesn't mean we wouldn't put our 2 cents.
Well, I know that. And I've been,
Because we have part of it in our plan we adopted for highway, for Warner Falls Drive. We adopted, we went through that whole area. And we adopted it. We recommended it. So we got something. So yeah, I mean, we gotta look at it through that lens to see how it's measuring up against what you guys might do. And that'll help you provide the citizen input.
what's in it tonight is the waterfront plans at planning commission right now. So they will have a kind of direction on what that looks like.
Although from a transportation system standpoint,
Changes.
well, we don't, it's a bit of a blank slate,
Yeah.
unknown as far as the waterfront goes. I mean, I've heard several suggestions of some kind of road bisecting the length or to, to allow for development. Or some kind of a transportation throughway, whether it's a bike and not car. So anyway, it's just lots of kind of throw up ideas, but so I'm not sure if maybe you could make some recommendations. I mean, you could look at what they've got so far and.
I wonder if it would be good after, when council decides that, so you guys are gonna adopt that plan, right?
Eventually, yes,
Yeah.
the next step with
And
it.
at that point, we have Darren come in and kind of walk us through what the plan looks like. And
I think that I would suggest we do it after this meeting if they come. Before it goes to the council, if we want to make any changes to it, once it goes to them and they approve it, it's kind of done.
Well,
We came after the planning commission.
we're just adopting the concept.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Basically, exactly.
Okay.
that's what I was thinking, Greg. If it came after that, then
No, okay.
they should kind of walk us through concept
Right,
Sounds good.
and maybe ask for input on some details where we can.
yes.
Same thing with Vision 43 when we get there. I mean, I think that's a little more concrete, so we know where that's going.
Yeah,
It's a matter of
We
what
did
it.
have somebody come present some vision for.
Chris Meyer came a while ago. I don't know.
Land use.
Yeah, we can have them come back to a subsequent meeting and see, progress where they are, what they've made decisions on and stuff.
it might be valuable to spend some time discussing the areas where they've suggested kind of side, like turn lane or I don't know what I'm trying to say, like turnouts.
On 43?
Yes.
Yeah.
At certain points along the way, I've heard that's a good idea, that's not a good idea, so I'd be interested to have the Transportation Advisory Board talk about that, because they're talking about having kind of pockets of commercial development, partly because there's so much private property that goes right up to the road. It can't all be done. So
Well, that would be something we can weigh in on.
maybe discuss some
Yeah.
of those options,
Transportation.
like the intersection at West Day, where West Day comes down to, and there's State Farm and on one for some business.
Mhm.
And the old fire station, the new fire station. So there's 3 corners that are commercial there. And that might be one potential.
Let's do that, right? It's appropriate.
Okay, so we're gonna have some a presentation or two on this in the future date. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
excellent. Go ahead. Number 4, let's do that.
So I want to talk about transit.
Transit improvements within Westland as well as connections to area transit providers. Consider senior, teen, worker, tolling diversion, and last mile service.
So I want to talk about this.
Okay,
I believe we need to do a transit study for our community. I'll take an example. I went to downtown Portland, dropped off the car to get service. It took me 29 minutes and 55 seconds. I didn't want my wife to follow me, so I said, I'll just ride this way. I've been doing the bus since the 60s, so I understand. $1.25 acre, no person, I guess, Jim.
okay.
But it took 2 hours. Hour of that was waiting. So there's no way that that transit system will work. And when you get on the bus 153, there was me and 2 other people, one went to the rec center, picked you up. And then there was some down the bike trying to get that one. And me, when I got off at Salamo and Santa Anita, bus was empty from then on out. Right, that goes through their budget cuts. This thing's gonna go away. There's nobody on it. So I think we need to do a transit study and look at some alternatives. I think Tualatin does a shuttle service. I thought about school buses that just sit around all day perhaps, some way that we can, if we're gonna have it. If it's not, if this is a square peg that won't fit in a round hole, then we need to quit beating our heads against the wall because, Westland folks aren't gonna ride transit. We're gonna ride transit. Can't keep pounding it on them. So, but, there's a lot of ideas out there that I'm not a transit expert. And we ought to have a study like we have a pedestrian thing. Let's go ahead and look at the options and then let's see if our community actually will support it. I know this is a great idea. What I always found was transit was a great idea, so everybody else will ride it and I can run it in the car. We need to decide whether or not that's really a viable transportation option for this community. And I think the only one of the ways we can do is by let's do an in-depth study about what's out there. Join us. I just don't.
Yeah, I thought about that. Smart.
Yeah, the smart, but that, I just don't know what the options are out there. We need to think, we're not the only suburban upper income community in the United States that's built like we are with, 10,000 square foot lots does not lend itself towards transit. We don't have densities. I mean, that's really the problem. But New York City, well, yeah, Phil. It's hard. So that would be my recommendation to our group that, if you got some consultant money, like we did the pedestrian study, it's a couple of years to do it, but we get started on this thing and finally find whether or not transit's a viable option for this community. It's not. Okay.
Your fear is what we have, the bare bones.
It's
not sustainable. It's gonna get.
Exactly. And they're gonna cancel it. And they've done it before,
Right. I think they added it to mollify the tolling discussion.
Once that comes, kind of looks like it is off the table, they're gonna go. So they got one driver that paid 90, fully burdened, $100,000 a year, and nobody's on the bus, right? And they had to have budget punches in spite of this new transportation.
And where did you get on the bus to get off?
I got off with the transit.
So
It was on their own.
I would have, so I got on, dropped my car off at 17th and Jefferson. So you gotta walk up to, I guess you can find the bus, but you gotta walk up to the transit mall. Yes. 35. And I did miss the first bus because I thought it went to Williger, but it didn't make any difference because the I call it a choke point, but the resting point is at Lake. Once you're on the bus, it takes the same amount of time as your car. I mean, but it's those waiting. You get to Lake Go, that bus runs once an hour. It doesn't matter. You just can't hit it. You cannot hit it. The connection between 35 and 153, that line up. So as long as you're getting on 135, getting on 153, I waited an hour. Now I could have walked
Yeah,
from Lake Go in the time but I didn't feel like walking up the hill. Or I could have taken 35 all the way to the bottom of the hill and walked up the hill, which I've done before. You know, nobody's gonna write it. Nobody will write it. And it doesn't provide service. It's also riding the bus, which the demographics of this community.
Yeah.
Let's just do this study and see if we can make something that actually would encourage.
I do see people waiting for the bus on Highway 40.
I do. Somewhere. Yeah, there's a transit, there's a park and ride at the church. At Hidden Springs and 43, there's a park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Although, come to think of it, I only ever see people on the southbound side,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's not,
So
so,
they're heading to the transit center.
right, right, okay.
Connect there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so let's just figure this out or don't figure it out.
No, it's a good idea because we've had, since this 153 has been running up here, we've had, well, I've had at least one request to add another stop along going out Rosemont. Which is, like you're saying, it's not feasible.
Uh-huh.
And there's nowhere to pull over. You mean in the city,
Yeah.
somewhere before you get, there's nowhere to pull over. No really way to place it. Okay.
Carriage, but you can try to pull it off on the one side, but the other side's challenging in there, so.
Yeah, no place to pull over. I mean, it does stop at Hidden Springs and Sunburst. That's where the guy got off with his bike. But yeah,
I
that's,
don't know exactly how you would start this, but we could.
you do an RFP, we want a transit study for West Lynn, looking at all options. I think Walton does a show on it. So, I don't know why that
What about
was.
this Wilsonville?
Yeah, they have their own system. They moved out of TriMet. But they have industry. They have stuff we don't have. They have people going to work there.
Yeah.
We don't. We are, commuter town with. So, back in the day when everybody worked downtown Portland.
And I think Canby and Lala and Oregon City have one, around every area of transit or something.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk to, he does transit studies. I mean,
Sure.
yeah, Fiddleson probably does, call them.
Yeah.
Say, here's the idea from our committee, then we'll figure out what this is. I don't want to be sold on it. I want them to study it to figure out whether or not it's even viable. And we include survey, just figure out whether.
I think it has two different pieces to it. It's, one is it transit to get around our community, right? Like local transit.
It's true.
The transit piece for us to get to other communities is another piece of it that probably will never be better than what you just did.
But I'd like to find it out. I mean,
Yeah.
if what Tualatin's doing, what I understand, what I thought, is we do a show, kind of get you on, but it also connects to the key points for truck, and it connects more often than every hour, and people would write it again. People would write it.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's probably your biggest one.
Yeah, and if they aren't gonna write it, then we shouldn't be spending the money.
Yeah, I used to ride an express bus from Tualatin Park and Ride to downtown.
So you go all the way over to Tualatin.
No, I
Oh, you did go there, okay.
Yeah, and it was the fact that it was an express bus and it just went down 5 as soon as you left Tualatin.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's where they were there.
Yeah.
It's great. But how did Metro add this bus service recently to our city? Was it a request from us or did they just?
TriMet,
Sorry, yeah,
yes.
TriMet did it.
I mean, it wasn't technically a request. I personally kept on going to every single meeting I could possibly be at and said, you cannot toll the stretch of 205 where the surrounding cities have inadequate transit. That is not realistic.
Mhm.
And so I have no idea if my constantly saying that, anything to do with it, I would have been shocked if someone told me that, but I did know that all of a sudden they were offering this, and I think it was predictable, honestly.
Mm.
The ridership levels were very predictable. There used to be, so the line used to come up Salamo, and then they took it away because it couldn't pay. It costs a certain amount extra just to get the heavy bus up the hill. And then there wasn't enough ridership to justify it. So then now it's back, and
He's on it, right?
I
look at it.
look at it too.
You know, they have a paint little fake heads on
I have seen, I have seen there
One or two.
are occasional people who are waiting up here.
Yeah.
Trying to have the bus, which I'm curious whether, these people who just are trying to get from one side of Westland to the other side. If that's the case.
That's
then
a
that's
good
different.
question to ask.
That's a-
I wasn't thinking of that.
We
I
don't-
was thinking of my 2-hour drive ride from downtown.
I just- That one's gonna, I feel like the study is important, and I think that would be included there, but I really feel like that was a hard one to fix.
I mean, you don't have to do a study if you guys know the
Yeah.
answer. If you know the answers, I'm just like,
I've run that 35 line a long time.
yeah.
I know how long it takes. I don't know a better way to do it.
Yeah, I
A
know.
light rail is a better way to do it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
So, or done for. And it has its ways too. I worked in the city of Gresham. We got the first one, right? I rode it all the time, but still, I'd have to wait for the train ride. And if I wanted to go to Hillsborough, which I had some meetings there, an hour and a half, which I can make in 35 minutes. My hourly rate is pretty expensive. I don't know. I mean, I think the council has an interest in transit, so we better figure it out or not. Right? And let's don't do it.
We don't need it. If the community doesn't support it, or
Right.
stop focusing our energy there.
Figure out something else.
Okay, we can figure that one out.
So come back with some ideas on
Yeah.
that.
What you want
I mean, you need to crack that piggy bank of yours. Now you got a little.
Studies on how the actual implementations are.
Okay, yeah, can you come back to us?
Sure.
Recommend some.
And it might be that it's just a little bit previous. So I can picture, sometime in the hopefully not too distant future, when there's some development from the waterfront and 43 vision plan, we've got some density. Maybe we've got a destination, maybe we have a rec center. These kind of things are happening that more people would take advantage of a transit option, as long as it's something that makes sense.
Well, you could ask that question if the destiny changed, if we finish the river project.
Yes.
Would that drive an increase in ridership?
Exactly.
And again, surveying the community, smoother word.
We're all out.
Could be maybe we're not into it right now, but 10 years from now, we may have a different,
That's
take another
what I'm
step,
thinking.
right?
Yeah.
We need to pause it for today and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, that was good, Greg. Thank you.
Similar thing for COVID, we were talking about improvements to 43 and the concept plan, Murray Smith was working, Murray Smith at that time, not Thomas Murray, was working on that plan. We'd have weekly meetings and Lance decided one day we take bus in town.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so we went out and part of Morgan, right?
That's what you do.
Same thing, it was like, you could drive in there in 25 minutes, but instead it took, I don't know, it felt like we were wasted half our day in there and back on the bus.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're gonna use the fee word, it's just kind of hard. Used to ride light rail when I was going downtown Portland, Gresham, and but I don't. Got the window.
Yeah,
Any experience on transit maybe has changed too in the last 10 years?
Better or worse. Yeah, I don't say. Yeah, yeah, and that's
That's what I'm hearing.
well, not only, that's part of it, part of it's the perception
That's right.
Internet Explorer.
That's very powerful.
And exactly, and so
Yeah.
that's why you hear people say, I'm not right now, getting on it. You know, it's gonna, I'm gonna make it home alive, which is, you know, that kind of thing. And like I said, I've been writing since the sixties. And we write it
When I worked in Arizona, the same thing in Phoenix, they had, they called them the rapid routes, and they were just dedicated, you know, you hit a park and ride on the freeway somewhere, and then it's just, maybe it stops another park and ride, but it's all just business commuters getting into downtown.
Yep.
And it was,
Well, that city is definitely car centric. I got interviewed by one of their, this was a long time ago, and they were thinking of putting light rail between, so I was riding a train. And I got interviewed at one of their channel, whatever their NBC was. Came up and was interviewing corporate people on light rail, how great. But I was on the train and he started talking to me.
Huh?
Let's set him in for item 4.
Repairs on 43.
I don't really have any updates. I mean, I can dig into this more. Right
And
next,
next we require a study, you already know, it's gonna take to improve that thing up to a regular.
all I can say, and I was talking to Greg before everybody came in, is with that potential, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mary, if I get this wrong, but there was some money set aside in that transportation bill. And I don't have a recent update on where it is, but it sounded like there was some money set aside for orphan highways that the state might not want to get rid of.
Yes.
And it sounds like we were on the list last time, higher on the list, so. I ran some numbers with Kittleson, who did the original concept plan. It's one of the appendices in the TSB. You can find it online on the webpage, but I think they were around 17 million to do the whole thing. Improvements for the cross section with bike and everything, and they ran the numbers and it'd be in the neighborhood of 50 million to do it today. So long story short, if we went to ODOT and said, if they had the money and said, okay, sure, we'll take it, but you gotta give us $50 million. So I don't know what the likelihood is that happening is.
We can check and see what happened with Tigard. I think they got their jurisdictional transfer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not nice.
No.
No, was it Hall?
Maybe. Yes, I think that's right.
Oh, yeah, that can be,
So we can find out how they're faring in the program.
yeah.
But yes, it's just from what I've always heard, first from Lance, and I'm sure you've also said that we could do the improvements much cheaper than ODOT because of their requirements.
Yeah.
And so it would make sense for everyone, for them to participate. And that's why they have this program, I'm sure. We can't just keep on letting roads deteriorate ad infinitum.
I do worry about the upkeep of the road, because the initial cost is one thing. The ongoing costs tend to be twice as much as the initial cost over the life of that. So, but I don't want to see happen is our entire street budget goes to 43 every year, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I agree.
So, but you know what? You don't know, so
That's right. Finding out.
gotta find out, then we can make decisions, what we can do.
And I mean, theoretically, with the two significant TIF districts, and when they start getting built up, more revenues will come in to the city because of that. And so we're kind of,
Oh, right.
we're at a point where we need to make some bold decisions and move forward, because we could hang back and say, well,
Gotta have a plan.
right. So I think at least researching is the right thing to do. So finding out
Find the answers.
the cost and the way forward on that transfer.
Okay, so we need to get, we need to hear more on this, obviously, but I mean, this item is more of an advocate role, it looks like, for this group. So if there is something that we can help as far as advocacy and we,
Right.
you know, we have a plan to try to take that on, we'll just need to get up to speed a little bit and we'll be ready to go. Pardon?
Do you have any friends in ODOT? But with their turnover, it's really hard.
It is, there's a whole bunch of people looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a hold of it.
I mean, they're in dire straits right now, let's be, you know, I mean, it's a tough time for them.
I've just been trying to figure out ways to concept plan included all that stuff down in my old city hall. About.
Yeah, it did.
We had some ideas. We wanted to float by them about, you know, it's gonna be a while. Or if we need to do one at all. How to make that whole intersection better, and I can't get anybody to respond.
Really.
It's frustrating.
And the,
Maybe there's.
where 43 turns into Lake Oswego. Is that still an ODOT maintained road?
Yep.
All the way.
Because it certainly is a lot better shape than the Westland side of the picture.
And I don't know necessarily.
I ain't either, but it's worse when
Well,
you get out of
I mean-
Oswego and go, take it, you know, go to McAdam and get on the Portland side. Thought my car was gonna fall. I have, but that's another story after. Anyway. Oh, Rosebud, yeah, no, I'm talking about McAdam, yes, I know you are. Yeah, that's a different one. Yeah, ODOT doesn't want to split a lot of money. Highway 43, the money goes on the freeways first, that's their maintenance plan, that's what they'll tell you.
43 through LO is in shape.
It is.
It's
It's
Through Lake Oswego?
yeah, it gets okay by Reynolds, but then you get out and then it starts getting bad. It's okay through the downtown area.
Yeah, there's the sewer, yeah, the covers and stuff. Okay. All right, so enough of that. So we're just gonna wait and
Yeah.
kind of hear back if there's some momentum. Doing something as far as what the city goes. And we'll be here to help support that. And the lot number 5.
They see was the issue. City, are we deficit?
Want to do more of that? Oh, are you talking about 5?
Yeah. I mean,
It says work to improve.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's just an overarching goal.
but we have issues. Not very inclusive. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I guess from a transportation standpoint, I would just say that there are probably a lot of people who could benefit from better transit options. But again, back to the discussion we were having, if it doesn't exist, you can't use it. Or if it doesn't exist in a functional way, then you're not, you're gonna change, you're not gonna rely on it. And so it just
It's a chicken.
self-perpetuating situation, so. Not really sure how, I think that's an open-ended.
I assume that applies to everything the city does. That's just
Yeah.
curious what we weren't doing.
Well, I don't think it's not anything
We're
we're
grabbing
grabbing.
that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Like stormwater's one. Income issues.
Mhm.
Located in the low-lying areas with that issue, but I don't think we have that issue. When a sewer needs fixed, then you fix it wherever it needs to be. From a public works standpoint, you fix where things need to be fixed regardless of where they are in the community. I'm thinking. That's what I used to do. Okay, well, I think it's one of those to be mindful of.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Okay, so, yeah, nice document and guidance by the council. Thank you very much. And Alex and Logan, do either one of you have any comments? Have you been able to review this?
Yeah, I was looking at it as we were reviewing it, but I think you guys summed it up pretty well.
Okay,
Yep, no comments from me.
okay, thank you. All right, under business item C, other items of interest to tab members, future topics, projects. We talked about that a little bit last time, and we have some new information here, so. But is there anything that anybody else wants to put forth as far as what we can be doing as a committee?
This is, it's good. One of the things at some point in the future, and not this year, we're going to trans, but I'd like to get a streetlights. I told you guys this before, a streetlight. And we might do that in conjunction with the sidewalks, but we have areas in this community that have sidewalks with no streetlights, and so I'm just gonna walk in this. And I know how it happened. In the future, you have to, the good transit, maybe that one is another couple of years or something. But we keep it on it.
Okay. So what would that look like? I mean, you want to,
We
Inventory.
define, yeah, we define areas that are high in pedestrian, I think high in pedestrian usage or want of usage, and we identify whether or not the streetlights, and that we conclude whether or not the program, whether or not that's a council value that we actually put streetlights up, or maybe not, should be in our, should be double lights. Because even.
That's more for safety.
It is, but
okay. Anybody else have any thoughts?
We also have a big chunk of, it's our, whatever option B, where it's city
Right,
owned,
city
city
owned.
maintained over at like Barrington area.
oh, and you haven't put it on a big schedule, or you can't.
Well, we can't really, because it's all direct berry stuff, so it's all. It would be.
Are they LEDs then? No?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but I still. Still.
I hope I'm wrong, maybe not. Old style, they're old style fixtures.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on to 6, general capital projects updates. Road program.
Well, as some or most of you are aware, we did award our road program for paving. We're starting, there's some very excited members here, I know that.
He lives on the
I know.
I just walk on it all.
Eagle Elfner, got awarded the project. They actually officially started this week. So because we did it so late in the year, which was not purposeful, but it actually, I think it turned out beneficial for us because we got really good prices out. We had 10 bidders. Yeah, we had, and everything, I think the Eagle Elfner was 500,000 below our engineer's estimate.
That's significant. Wasn't it like a $2 million
Yeah,
project?
they came in at like, oh, maybe it was 4, but I think it was like 1.6. It was really good. Like we were, I mean, so like, although not intentional, maybe I look like a genius now. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with it.
I mean, I did look at right. Good it's so late.
I see some sidewalks.
Yeah.
Well, we are doing a few.
We're doing quite a few ramps. But we also, because it's so late here, we split it into kind of 2 pieces. We have a fall piece that they're gonna do, they're starting now, and then a spring piece they're gonna come and do in the spring, because we can't very well get it all done in 2 months.
You don't want to dig out.
We don't want to take out more than we know we can get back in before the weather turns on us. So we kind of did a prioritization of base condition wise. So obviously Rosemont, we all know is very bad. Rosemont's getting done.
Oh, so when you broke it in half, you broke all the project. You didn't break Rosemont.
No.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
We're shooting prioritized Rosemont, then Light, and then Hidden Springs.
Gotcha.
And then in the spring, we're gonna fall back and do some stuff, near Upper Mid, we repaved Upper Mid Hill with the water project, so that's good. But there's still stuff beyond Arbor, kind of up College Hill. There's a couple of little spots there that aren't pretty bad that we're gonna tackle in the spring. And a lot of those have ramp components too. I think total, 88 ramps. I think we're redoing like 22 88
We're
ramps,
gonna see it working on this.
which is good. I mean, they need to be done.
Yeah.
So that, like I said, kick off this week. Hope to have all of the first phase, the fall phase done by the end of October.
And did you have a crack seal program at all this year?
We actually did that in-house.
Yeah, okay.
Guys in streets, public works. We talked about, with this last budget to buy a trailer, so we could just do it, but it was a little bit cost prohibitive for something that you get to use maybe 3 months, 2 months.
Right.
And it sits, so there's, outfits that rent them, so we rented one for a couple months.
Mhm.
I don't remember the footage we got down, but, so we'll probably just keep doing that. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's asset reservation if you can,
Yeah.
you can do it in-house, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we just got our, pavement conditions
did.
back.
And
it went down, unfortunately, but I still think we could get the number closer to where it was, so I have some comments back to them about that. Just because we have some streets that are
yeah, after you get done
a
this
year
year,
old, and they're already in the low 90s. That
like
is the same.
Skyline or something.
Sunset.
I mean, something.
That's that,
And some says,
yeah, Cedar Oak, right?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So, but anyway, it just, we need to get back onto the train of the maintenance, not just doing the full reconstruct. Crack sealing. I'm gonna try to piggyback on with Oregon City and Hillsborough and do slurry sealing. Even though I struggle a little bit with it, just because sometimes it seems like more of a headache. Just get people driving through it, it takes so long.
yeah.
But it does give you a few more years.
It does. Yeah, you do get a good one.
So, yeah, we're doing that. We do have a asphalt patch truck. We just recently bought from Oregon City. We got a new one, so we took over theirs, so we can, along with the crack seal, do some of these, just repairs, along the street, so hoping to do more of that. So,
Is Willamette Falls Drive from 16th to Ostman on this? I thought it was on a list or,
That is our federal project.
oh, that's
that's
why.
another.
That'll be 2020 now.
Oh, I see.
That was one of the ones that I was frustrated with too, because I could go bid that thing out and design and go into work on it next winter. But, yeah, so we're still in that was one of the ones we had to, got mixed up, and I think I brought it to council twice.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on that.
I mean, I guess the other thing that we have that we kind of paused on is doing our study on, Boston. Kind of the corridor study of how we want that to look as far as
Back to the pedestrian stuff.
pedestrian travel.
Hmm.
We've got a consultant working on it, but we've kind of paused them so we can focus on a few other things right now.
Maybe we can bring that back.
Probably need to kick that one back up.
That was one of the ones where we were on, when we got going on the pedestrian study, we had some folks.
We did.
And it was like, well, how do I prioritize that over this other stuff? Ironically, it turned out, looking like, because I think Austin's a higher classification, so we were looking at that, but I think according to the study, if I remember right, more of the focus should go to 19, so.
Logan's having to leave. Bye, Logan.
Bye, Logan.
So, yeah, that's, I think all we're kind of the updates for traffic.
Okay, while we're on with you though, Bob, is there any safety updates we talked about?
Oh, traffic safety.
If there's any safety, we need to hear about that.
That's, apology, yeah, we should have put that on the agenda. So I will give you some brief things of the last couple of meetings we talked about. A lot of them is focused on Merrillhurst and Hillcrest. It was a weird one-way stop, that we have we've now shifted to a three-way stop to,
Yeah.
It's a three-legged intersection. It's a weird.
Yeah.
Run it on the.
we had probably 6 to 7 different community members fill out a traffic request for it. So we did some traffic counts on it and
The counts were pretty even.
Yep. direction. No speeding issue.
Stop on that hill. Say it, let me tell you.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it is.
We've had a few, just a few speeding concerns in some of, an area around the Bolton, no, Cedar Oak boat ramp area, which we think is some isolated incidents. We didn't have a lot of action we were taking on anything because they were mostly, complaints of speeding that we put counters out and checked and we don't have a speeding issue. So, I mean, our recommendations are no change. So the only thing we've really acted on in the last couple of months is this issue at Merrillhurst. Which again, like I said, had a lot of people chime in on.
Who lives
Who live in the area. There's always people who live in the area. Like that's all you're doing. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was anything major that came out of the last one either.
And if anybody hasn't driven down or met since then, but there was also the weird three-legged intersection by Cedar Oak Elementary going down to the boat ramp.
Mhm.
That's an all-way stop.
Oh, it is. That's where the fatality happened. Right there,
Yeah.
right?
Up the road a little.
Not at the intersection.
Yeah, nothing to
Oh.
do with,
The intersection itself was just confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Confusing for me.
that
I know that
was
was
cool. We thought it'd be best that
Right.
Any feedback since the changes of these two
I'm
intersections?
surprised I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard anything. I thought we'd hear more this summer about the little one at Elmore and Cedar Oak, but
school?
but I mean, both happening was the big issue. Like I always thought that would be the one people would complain about it. But I've heard everything.
Okay.
Some.
This is
No,
good.
news has been the word. Thank you for the reminder, Jeff. I'll make sure we
Okay.
put that on there and I will track it better.
Okay, and the words. Yeah, I guess, Rich isn't here, but his deal is e-bikes and living on Rosemont, and
bad.
scooters, and it's
bad.
scary. So
I think
we're not unique. I mean, every community you read about is grappling with that issue. Boy, it's
Site
actually.
issues were you, sir.
I did hear a police officer in the parking lot right up here the other day. I heard him on the megaphone and I looked up and he was like, "Hey, get on the bike." And I saw that e-bike goes
Around there.
screaming down the trail.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Some kind of truck the other day, it's just pumpkin springs and sand. Just, yeah,
Yeah.
one was gonna get nailed. Very hard.
Okay, anything else?
I don't
Your perspective?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. So item number 7 is board. We have a new board member here. And I'm sorry, but you might miss the introductions Mary did when she came in. Can you usually give us a little background on where you, how you arrived on this committee and thanks for participating, by the way, but give us a little on your background.
Sure. My name is Mikhail. I've lived in Westland for about 5 years now. I was an engineer for a very long time. I lived in different countries as well, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong. But now I work with my wife and a bunch of other people in a medical spa. But I love this ability that I'm able to join you guys to be on the Transportation Advisory Board. Kevin suggested I would join you guys and thought I'd be a good fit. And I'm excited to see what my random engineering background and management background can help here.
Some experienced transportation and some,
Oh, yeah. Some very unique transportation.
great, welcome. Excited.
Welcome. So other discussion items, I had one thing, we had a lady here last meeting, way back in June, Suzanne. Did somebody follow up with her or whatever?
We did. We actually connected her with Luke Borland, who works in our department for our kind of public outreach. When we did the bike kiosk opening downtown, kind of had him reach out to her to go kind of participate in that with her idea of sweetener. I don't know. I haven't got any feedback from that, but I can check in with Luke and see what happened. But we thought that was a good place for her to go and started. Yeah, get started.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we did get back to her as somebody here, so thank you for that. Okay, any other board discussion items? We will, I guess, as the board roster will get updated. Eric and you,
Yeah.
we'll get that on the website or
Yeah.
out to
The
us.
website's updated, it's just our signing sheets.
Okay, okay, all right,
It is, right?
100%.
Yeah.
okay.
Sign-in sheets are always been wrong consistently.
All right, so just thinking about this meeting, if you have a chance, look at the TSP before our next meeting. We'll hear a little bit more on some of the stuff we talked about today. It was good discussion, so
Yeah.
appreciate it. And we'll see everybody in November, huh?
We got out homework.
Yeah, we got homework.
What if you broke it down?
So you adjusted.
Or, no, I'm saying like, I don't know how many, like, if you had assigned people one,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather than being assigned the whole thing to read, I'd rather have someone say, you focus on that.
That's good.
Then
Okay,
a couple of takeaways, so people aren't having to like, regurgitate the whole thing.
right.
Then I'm trying to
Kind of a high level,
Yeah, right. All right.
just an idea.
No, that's a good thought.
Chapters, there were 7 of us. We don't have to do this sidewalk chapter. We already
did that, right?
We did that. So we have 8 chapters to go.
I'll do a chapter.
Yeah, we got 8 people and we have 8 chapters.
Okay.
All right.
Just do it.
Okay, can we just follow up with an email to everybody and say, hey, would you take a look at this chapter?
Sign it.
I think so.
Sign us to it.
Yes.
I
All right.
upgrade it. Sign us a chapter.
That way some,
Then we can report back.
Yeah.
okay.
So they can.
Yeah.
Did we have any public comment today?
We did not.
Oh, sorry, I was a little.
Okay, for adjournment.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Good seeing everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
We on record.
Hold on.
Not my moment.
I get stuff.
It's a short meeting. So Jeff and I can be the inspectors on that Rosemont job if not. So
Oh, I'm all over it already.
I was gone for the last 3 days. I do my,
Hi, Mary. Thanks.
sorry, do my walkout. We'll get our lunch here, sit down here like a couple old guys and sidewalk and stuff.
Yeah, is there some widening happening on that part?
Yep.
Because I looked at the plans, but I couldn't really.
Kind of essentially right across from your house.
Yeah.
So the plan, if you look at the plan.